everyone. So hopefully you can hear me this time around. We were having some audio difficulties with the first few videos that we did, so I've been trying to test it and fix it. I think I fixed it. At least I hope I fixed it. I hope everyone can hear me. Otherwise, I may have to do some more testing. Hi everyone. Happy to finally be here with you. I hope your Wednesday is going very, very well and that you're not having any audio difficulties. So these live streams are brought to you every Wednesday, and each Wednesday we bring you a new topic that has to do with starting or strengthening your career in the dental industry. So if you like the content that we're bringing you and the topics that we're bringing you, be sure to like this video. If you have any thoughts, questions, comments, or insights on the topics that we are discussing, be sure to leave a comment in the comments below. And if you don't want to miss out on future streams, be sure to like our page or subscribe to our channel. If you want more information on your dental career, be sure to check out Princess Dental Staffing's page, princessdentalstaffing.com, where you can find their blog, and it's also super, super easy to create a profile and start searching for jobs as well. Okay? So let's jump into today's topic. So today's topic, we're talking about reliability in the dental office. Okay, so we're going to be talking about reliability, what it is, why it's important, and how we can strengthen our reliability and become a reliable team member. Okay, so first, let's talk about why reliability is so important. And I want to challenge you here quickly. I want you to think about the last time in your career, or even in your academic career, high school, college, what have you, the last time that you relied on somebody to do something and they did not come through for you, okay? So do you have that in your mind? Are you thinking about it right now? Do you have a situation? How did you feel? Okay, what were your feelings when that person didn't come through for you? Were you frustrated, maybe disappointed, maybe even indignant? Okay, all these feelings that can come up when you relied on somebody and they did not come through for you. So, there's a lot of different things you could have felt, but I think it can be summed up very easily as you didn't feel good, right? It wasn't a fun experience, and it wasn't something that you would like to repeat anytime in the near future, right? So that's why reliability is important. That's why, because, if somebody was not a reliable team member, basically, more than likely, either the work didn't get done or the work got done, but it was not very high quality, right? Like it wasn't done very correctly, or it could have been done better, okay? So that's why it's important to be reliable, because when you can rely on all of your team members to come through and take care of the tasks and responsibilities that they are responsible for taking care of, then the work comes together. And if they're not reliable, then the work does not come together. Okay, so that's reason number one why reliability is so important. Secondly, it's also important to be a reliable team member in order to continue that positive professional relationship with your coworkers and with your management, right? So again, kind of going back to that one situation that you had in your mind and all the feelings that came up because of it, probably hurt your relationship with that person, right? Because you relied on them to do something, they didn't come through for you, and now the work didn't get done, or it's kind of subpar, and so it really kind of hurt. That probably hurt your relationship with that person, right? Professional relationship or academic relationship with that person, right? So that's the other reason why reliability is so important. It's important because if you're a reliable team member, you continue those positive professional relationships with those people. And it's especially important to be reliable in a dental office, right? Because, being reliable in a dental office, you're working with patients day in and day out, right? So everybody needs to work together in order to ensure that those patients get high quality patient care and health care on a regular basis, okay? So it's super, super important to be reliable, but also paramount is to be a reliable team member if you're in a dental office, okay? So that's why reliability is so important. So let's talk a little bit about what it means to be reliable. So if you're a reliable team member, what does that do exactly? Well, it helps the office operations run more smoothly and more efficiently, right? It means that things get done, they get done on time, and they get done completely with a high quality standard, to a high quality standard, okay? That's basically what it means to be reliable. If an individual is reliable, it means that that individual can be counted on to do things. It means that individual can be entrusted with a lot of tasks and responsibilities and be sure to get them done. Right? That's basically what being reliable means. It means you can be counted on. It means you can be entrusted with those tasks and responsibilities. What are some ways to show your coworkers and management that you are reliable? That's a great question, Taylor. And actually, I'm coming into that right now. So let's talk about how you can be reliable in an office, in a dental office, okay? So let's talk about how you can do that. So I'm going to be going over 4 different things a little bit more in depth, okay? So one way that you can show that you are a reliable team member is number 1, managing your commitments. Number 2, showing up on time. Number 3, communicating constantly. And number 4, being honest about your mistakes. So let's delve into each one of those a little bit more, okay? So firstly, managing your commitments. You may have heard this phrase before, under promise and over deliver. Okay, so that's a common phrase that you kind of hear in various workplace settings. Under promise and over deliver, and it basically means just don't promise more than you can complete, and when you do complete that task or you take care of that responsibility, make sure you do it as thoroughly as possible. Okay. So say, for example, someone asks, say, hey, Colleen, hey, can you get this report done? Can you get this report done? I need it by Friday. Let's say I tell that person, oh, you know what? I can get it done by tomorrow, because I think at the time I can get it done by tomorrow, but actually I can get it done today. But, let's say I can get it done today. I promise it tomorrow, but something happens, right? Something unexpected happens, and I don't get it done until tomorrow. Well, I still came through on my promise, right? And, if something doesn't happen and I do get that report done and submitted today, well, then I've over-delivered, right? Because I've done it before I said I was going to do it, right? And maybe, when it comes to over-delivering, maybe I throw in a few things here and there, a few more analytics or something like that, okay? So that's what it means to under-promise and over-deliver. It's just a technique used to kind of mitigate expectations and make sure that you are prepared for the worst, okay? So that's what under-promise and over-deliver means, and that's one of the ways that you can manage your commitment. The other thing that you can do to manage your commitments is to make sure that you have good time management skills, okay? So when someone asks you to do something, make sure you know what the deadline is in order to take care of that, right? So if you think about, okay, I need this by Friday. So let's say this person comes up to me and says, I need a report by Friday. Can you do it? Okay. So if I think about my current workload and how long it's going to take in order to get that report done, I can give them a better estimate of when it can get done. Okay. So making sure that you are, thinking about your deadlines and thinking about how long you estimate it's going to take in order to get that task done so that you can manage those expectations of the other person. Okay. Lastly, know when to say no. This is super, super, super important. So management and your coworkers are going to come up to you and they're going to ask you to do a lot of different things. And the fact of the matter is you can't get every single thing on your list done, especially not within that same day. Okay. So, if you are just overloaded, make sure that you are communicating what you can and cannot get done. Make sure you say no firmly, but also offer an explanation. Okay. So if that coworker comes up to me and says, hey, Colleen, I need this report done. And I say, no, well, that's not very thorough, is it? I mean, if I just say, no, sorry, can't do it, that coworker is going to think I'm blowing them off, or that, I'm not particularly concerned about, their workload or their time or their needs, right? If I just say, no, sorry, can't, that doesn't really build that reliability and that trust and that rapport with that person. So make sure you offer an explanation. So I say, hey, Colleen, can you get this report done? I need it by Friday. Actually, I've got about 16 other reports to do, and they are all due Friday as well. I am so sorry. I cannot take care of this right now. Maybe so and so can do it, or maybe, or you could also, take the opportunity to kind of trade off. Oh, okay, well, are you working on this? Well, do you think you can get these 3 reports done and then I can get yours done? Or something like that. Okay. So if you just can't get something done, make sure that you clearly communicate that and also follow up with why, instead of just kind of dropping it as, no, I can't. Okay. Because it's just a little bit dismissive. Okay. And we don't want to come off that way. Okay. Okay, so number 2, be punctual. Show up on time. Okay, so make sure you're showing up on time for your shift every day, or every day that you're scheduled, rather. And make sure, if you can, be sure to get there about 5 or 10 minutes early. Okay, and that way, again, that shows, coworkers, management, that you are a reliable team member, right? Because you're showing up on time every day. You're always there for your shift. You stay to the end of your shift. Okay, so that's being reliable. Okay, and if for some reason you can't make it, sometimes life happens. Sometimes there's an accident on the highway. Sometimes you get a flat tire. Sometimes your child is sick and you can't make it in. Okay, sometimes things just happen. So make sure that you have those open lines of communication with your management, with your supervisor, so you can let them know. You can send them a text or give them a call and say, hey, I'm so sorry. I'm going to be 15 minutes late, half an hour late, an hour late. I'm not coming in today because my child is sick. Let them know. Okay. And that way they know it's not your fault. It's not that you just kind of blew them off and don't want to come in. It's that, I'm sorry, I can't right now because I have something that's preventing me. Right. So that's showing up on time. Totally agree. Being on time is super important. Yeah, absolutely. Showing up for on time when your schedule shifts. Your work schedule is a commitment that you're making to your office. Okay, and if you're not coming through on that commitment, you're not being reliable. Okay, so yeah, absolutely agree, Taylor. Okay. Number 3, constantly communicate. Okay. And I've talked about communication on a lot of different streams. If you've seen any of these previous streams that I've done, I talk about communication a lot. I also talk about the fact that communication is not one way. Okay. Communication is not just me telling you something. Communication is also listening to what it is that you have to say. Okay. So it's not just about communicating. It's also about engaging those active listening skills in order to listen to somebody and to understand what it is they're trying to communicate to you. Okay. So make sure that you are communicating constantly. Okay. Giving, if you're, being relied upon to do something, to take care of something, to be responsible for something, make sure that you're giving updates to your team or to your management or to your patients, so that they're not just kind of, hanging in the wind, right? They're not just kind of out there wondering what's going on, or, they're not just assuming that something's getting done and it's not, right? So make sure that you are, you're updating, your coworkers and management. Okay. Also make sure you're updating constantly and with enough time. Now, obviously, sometimes things kind of happen at the last minute and you don't know, but as soon as you have an update, make sure you communicate it as swiftly as possible. Okay. It's really frustrating, especially for management, when, you have to come up and let them know that something is not going to happen last minute, even though you knew about it for hours or days or maybe even weeks. Okay. Make sure that you're not doing that last minute. Make sure you're communicating updates in a timely manner and just letting people know. Okay. Lastly, be honest about your mistakes. Okay. We're all going to make mistakes. It is inevitable. It is human nature. Okay. Make sure that you are owning up to those mistakes. Okay. If you're not owning up to those mistakes, so let's say again that coworker comes up to me and says, "Hey, Colleen, I need that report by Friday," and I go, "Okay," and then I forget about it. And now it is 4 p.m. on a Friday, and that coworker is kind of going, "Hey, what the heck?" And and I knew at 8 a.m. Like I remembered about it at 8 a.m. and now I don't have time to do it. But I didn't tell them when I remembered about it. It was my mistake, but I didn't notify them, and now they're kind of hanging in the wind and they're thinking it's going to get done. Okay. So make sure you own up to your mistakes. In that situation, I should just, at 8 a.m., I should go up to my coworker and go, "Hey, you know what? I am so, so sorry. I completely forgot about this report. I got bogged down with other things. I am so, so sorry about this. I can still get it to you, but it's going to be, late. It might be on Monday or something to that effect. Okay. Just make sure you're owning up to your mistakes. And hopefully you're working in an office where they have a culture of accountability. So I did a previous stream on creating a culture of accountability and why it's important. Again, accountability is not finger pointing. It's not you did this, you did that, you are wrong, you are, you're not developed in this area or something like that. Okay. Accountability just means taking responsibility for your mistakes and trying to, approaching the mistake with the mindset that you want to fix it and go forward. Okay. That's what accountability is. It's not finger pointing and it's not blaming. It is, trying to fix something collaboratively and move forward in order to make sure that the office keeps running. That's what that is. So when you own up to your mistakes, you're supporting that culture of accountability and you're showing that you are reliable because again, mistakes make us human. Because you've made a mistake, it doesn't mean that you're not reliable. It just means that you're human. So if you own up to that mistake, it shows that you are in fact a reliable person because you are, notifying the person that you did make a mistake and that you are going to rectify it. Okay. So really, really important to be honest about your mistakes. Make sure you address the issue in a timely manner and offer solutions to fix it. Okay. And a more reliable timeline as to when you can get that done. Okay. So that is a little bit about reliability in a dental office. We talked about what reliability is, why it's important, and some of the ways that you can, illustrate and build your reliability and illustrate your reliability to your team members, to your management, and to your patients. Okay. So we talked about managing your commitment, showing up on time, communicating constantly, and being honest about your mistakes. Those are definitely great, great ways to help show your team that you are a reliable team member and that you're here to support the office in achieving its endeavors. Okay. So thank you so much for tuning in today, everyone. And if you couldn't tune in when this was live, I'm so glad you got to watch it later and that it has audio. It has audio this time. So if you have any questions or thoughts, comments, insights on what we've covered today, be sure to comment below. If you like the content that we are bringing you, be sure to like this video. And if you don't want to miss out on future streams, make sure that you like our page or subscribe to our channel. So I hope everyone has a wonderful, awesome week. I will be back next week with a new topic that we'll be covering. So, but again, in the meantime, I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful week, and I will see you next Wednesday. Okay, bye everyone. Have a great day.